today's lesson is on why what you think about dictates what you can play fast. So this question had to do with speed. This question had to do with what players think about when they play with speed. So in my earliest days of playing fast, because I love to play fast, and I often get a lot of criticism for whatever reason, but I love to play fast. It was always exciting to me, always enjoyable. In my earliest days, especially inspired by Eric Clapton and his playing in Cream, which was fast and virtuosic, I felt. But also soulful and tasty, right? Just sort of just everything good, you know? Right, so here I am in the minor pentatonic, the 5th position box here. You know? That was really the first place I could ever play. Something like that. Right, that was like literally the first solo I ever learned how to play. Is If the Kids Are United, They Will Never Be Divided. It was a punk rock song, not a Clapton song. But yeah, like learning to play in this spot. So if I'm doing something like that, nowadays I have all the names of the notes memorized, so that helps with being able to develop ideas. But in my earliest days, I didn't have that. So like if I'm playing G-E-D as a cycle, and I'm in A minor pentatonic, I now know the notes of the A minor pentatonic scale. So A, C, D, E, G are the notes. So if I'm going, right, if I don't want to just run the pattern all day in the box, because in my earliest days, that's all I knew was where the right place to put my fingers were. And at that point, I was already playing with 4 fingers, so I always played the 8th fret with my pinky. You know, you watch a player like Clapton or Jimmy Page, and you'll see the 3rd finger being used and the 2nd finger. You know, something like that. So. Right, as I'm playing through that, at that speed, I am actually keeping track of what finger I'm on, what fret I'm on. I don't, for this particular pattern, the notes, I do know them very quickly. They are coming to me, but I don't need to have that. I can have the physical pattern if I'm choosing to run a big idea like that. Right? Let's say I want to do something a bit different. Let's say I want to do like a D minor scale in 1 octave, right? So a very common pattern. You can see the patterns in the finger. So I got the notes. Right, I got the notes there. What if I want to do it in 2 octaves? Little bit of planning, you know? So, especially for speed, I like to do 3 notes per string. So I'm actually going to work this out, right, in my switch to a gapped 1, 2, 4. And that's going to give me, you see the fingers are already adjusting. I usually don't run a straight scale all the way up and all the way down. One, it takes a lot of memory of a pattern to do that, and I always liked having the freedom, since I knew the notes and I knew my music theory really well, to just sort of zip around and sort of do whatever I want. So if I'm like aiming for a 2 octave D minor, in order to play one very fast, I would just have to straight up practice it and play it the same way every time, and then start with an upstroke if I wanted to. Right, decide on what I'm doing with the pick strokes, because it's, or if I'm doing it legato. Right, anything like that, it's giving me the fluency to see where the notes are coming. You see, just from that little bit of work, I can already see the bigger groups. I understand that the first 2 sets of strings are the same fingering, D, E, F, G, A, B flat. I got that right there, you know. The next string, does the gapped 1, 2, 4. So the first finger stays over the same fret for the C, and then it's a gapped 1, 2, 4, but I have to do a fret shift for F, G, A, and then I actually get to keep the same exact fingers over the same frets for the next string for B flat, C, D, if I'm doing D natural minor. So that's one idea. That's another idea. That's another idea. I would say that's an idea, and that's separate. So that's how I would group it. I would do these 6 notes and one idea, and as I'm playing that, I'm already thinking about the next one, and then the next 2 strings, because that's the same idea. Not super clean, but again, just going for the speed and just going for the thing. Let's go. Let's do it again. There we go. You know, so I know, especially when I started improvising a lot, and I've worked a lot to get this out of my playing, but it's definitely not there yet. You know, it might take another 10 years to really get it out. But, you know, I would often, since I love to play fast, I would often just sort of supplement what I was playing with repetition. So I'd be doing a lot of sequence kind of stuff. So let's say I stay in D minor. You know, something like that. You know, very, very Malmsteeny. You know. Yeah, harmonic rock. Right? So, like, things like that, you know, I'm definitely thinking about the notes and where they are, and then keeping track of the physical aspect, like, where is the pick at any given moment? And if I'm going for a shift, like, is it gonna interact, you know? I'm not an E, so I don't need the E. I need the A, right? Exactly. So there, I just sort of went with the defaults. Do that swing thing. There we go. I use the open A and get a little 5-1 in the key. So if I'm doing like D minor, Malmsteen style. Work it out a little bit, but that this guitar is hard to tap on because the frets are very low. These are vintage style 50s frets. They're very hard to tap on. They also have giant fingernail, so a little tough, but there we go. As long as you get a little precision, you know. But again, as I'm thinking of this, yes, I know the D minor shape, but I am assured D, F, A, D, F, A, D, F. You know, tap the A. Come back with the same notes. You know, if I had to come back with like different fingers, like you can see right there, I just played wrong notes. So like at that speed, I'm already trusting in the pattern, but that's because I validated it before I executed it. If I'm gonna do something where I'm like really flying and just you know, not a prepared thing, then I'm actually like plotting notes as I'm playing. And again, I might fill in the space with a couple repetition things. That sort of makes it easy and fun. You know, so there's my A. No B. So you see there, it wasn't just straight. It was like like went down, turn around, went down, turn around. Gave me some thinking time. So if I want to do it like really straight, let's just say this is a prepared lick, just a, you know, to be transparent. But like if I'm doing just something straight, like, you know what I mean? Like it just gives you, you know, like the exact notes you need. You have to be ahead of yourself with your thoughts in order to like keep the development going. So yeah, when you're committed to thinking about this stuff this way, and you practice it that way, and you always train it that way, it becomes your default, and then you can really enjoy your playing time. So if you want my help being able to do that with your own playing, please feel free to send me a message. I'd love to help you out. Thank you. Have a good night.